Hello again, everybody. This is Sampada Agarwal, CZT, ready to spend some time with you to explore this beautiful, relaxing art called Zentangle. So today is the, let me check on the date, 19th. Yeah, today is the 19th of February 2022, and today we are going to talk about not a new tangle, because I think we have explored enough tangles, but we will explore the idea of auraing. The idea of auraing. Aura is nothing but echo of a shape that we have already drawn, and we saw that we used that a lot in the other tangles, but I just wanted to bring forth this whole notion of auraing today. Okay, so without further ado, let me begin with the 8 steps of the Zentangle method. So the first one is we take time to be grateful, and I'm grateful for this opportunity to share this art style with you all, and I am certainly appreciative of everybody who are watching these videos, so thank you so much. And so now we start with the 4 corner dots, and then we go ahead and draw a border, right? And once we have the border made, we have this space that we can now tangle in. And usually we start off with a string, but I'm going to keep this very open-ended, and I'm going to actually start drawing some flux. Flux is one of the tangles introduced, or rather deconstructed, by Zentangle. So flux is what I'm going to explore with the notion of aura. Okay, so just start anywhere, and I know it might sound very daunting, but don't be. And we just go ahead and draw just a group of, and you can go ahead and turn your tile as much as you want. And I'm just going to draw this, I'm going to call it a burst of aura, a burst of flux rather, sorry. So we just have this burst of flux coming out from somewhere here in the middle. You can think of it as a firecracker or something, it doesn't matter what we call it, but essentially we have this flux originating from this one point, and I'm just going to add some extra biddies here and there using the holly-ball effect, right? So we are using holly-ball to kind of show these other flux kind of hiding behind. So this whole notion of hiding behind that we have introduced with holly-ball, right? So here I'm just going to add, and I think this looks good enough. So I mean, don't be intimidated by this tangling. It can be as organic or as structured as you want. So I just added some flux, right? And now these areas, I'm just going to fill those in with a set of lines that you could also call them auras, because we are essentially mirroring this same pattern, which is a little rounded line, right? And here it's interesting because now I have got a line that looks like this, and that's perfectly fine. We just go ahead and mirror whatever we can see, right? So all these areas, I'm just going to draw these lines that are parallel, which really echo. So it's almost like, you know how we have these ripples in the water, where we have the same circular fashion going round and round and round, right? So something like that. So here we have, like, the ripples form concentric circles, which is what I meant. Not very clear. But anyway, so now here is what we are doing. We are creating the same kind of, you know, ripples. So that is what we call the echoing or auraing, right? And so this way you could easily take any tangle. Sometimes you can just blow it up like this, and I could just fill this part in. You know, this one is also really small, so I can just fill it in. It's up to you, right? And then to top it off all, I could add one final aura around this entire tangle, right? And that way we are creating this really nice, cozy enclosure where we have our tangled area residing. And now you can do whatever else you want around it, but to add a little bit more variety in this, what we can do now is we could alternately fill these in, and instead of filling them all the way through, you can just leave a little bitty space here, indicating a little sparkle. You'll be surprised how that little spot, that white spot over there, just helps create this idea of a shine. Okay, see how little it takes for our eyes to create these illusions. And little by little, one stroke at a time, we just learn these little nuances, and one day, lo and behold, you will call yourself an artist. It is that simple. So just like you don't think of results when you are focused on the tangles, similarly you just enjoy the process, and somewhere along the way you will find joy in this path of creativity, right? And this kind of creativity can help you get over this feeling that it's so difficult to be an artist. It's not. It just takes practice, right? So that is why I'm doing these small bite-sized videos, so that we can kind of help make our practice that much more approachable. And the second thing is the actual content. What is it that you want to draw? And so at times that becomes an even bigger hurdle to cross. And that's where Zentangle comes in, because now you can mindfully take some time out and draw these abstract patterns and help you go over this hump that you're not an artist. So just don't think about it, just practice every day. It is all just muscle memory. I mean, you have to give your hands enough times a workout. It's like how you play any game, or you excel at any instrument, or anything that you do, right? It requires practice. So, and when can you practice? Practice can be, you can practice only when it is fun. So that there again, Zentangle comes to the rescue, right? Because here again we have these smiley faces, as I call them. So we could just add these to make our three-dimensional kind of spherical bulbs as part of our flux pattern. So the more you kind of work on this, the shading, the more fun it becomes. So I'm just going to add a little more drama. And I call shading drama because it just does add a lot of oomph to your tangle, right? So, and surprisingly, it also hides. See, now this here, I mean, is an overlap, so we can easily make this guy cast a shadow, and that's a very easy way to make this effect. We did the same thing when we did volleyball, right? So keeping those little things in mind, because this whole idea of tangling is a very mindful exercise, right? We are not just doing this without giving it any thought. Every line that we make is a deliberate line. So keeping those simple foundational ideas in mind, you can open a wonderful door to creativity. And that's what this is all about. Just to be creative, stay creative, and share the joy. So here is my initial, the treble clef, because I'm so partial to music. And we can add so much more. We can add so many tangles, and we can do so much more. I'm just keeping it simple because I want to kind of keep my instructional videos to less than 15 minutes. But yeah, I mean, one of these days what I'll do is I'll just go back in my book, and then maybe we could just redo one of those tangles that we have already done that way you can see how wonderful this style is and how limitless it is. Alrighty, so thank you so much again all for joining. Now that we have put the initial in, we just admire our handiwork and say good. So sometimes you just have to be kind to yourself, so please do that. And I hope to see you all again. Okay, take care now, be kind, and keep tangling. Namaste.